welcome back to the channel. I'm glad to have you back. The channel continues to grow thanks to your support, and kudos to you all. Today we're going to be going through our Game Week 11 review, which wasn't a very bad game week generally. We had a score of 75 points and a green arrow to around, I think, 115,000 worldwide, 115k. So we're going to look upwards to go through the different players. Fabianski was a very great call as we've just concluded the Arsenal versus Chelsea game, and we noticed that Raya did concede. He was my other keeper. So the 8-pointer from Fabianski really came in handy. We had also good returns from my defense. Ain't Nori and Robinson both kept clean sheets, which also helped. Lewis lost his clean sheet as Man City was beaten, and Konsa came off my bench because McNeil didn't play. I had McNeil in my midfield because I started with 3 defenders, and Konsa only came in because he was my first substitute from the bench. So he came in with a 1-pointer. In my midfield, Mbeumo did come up with an assist. It was very disappointing from Spurs as they were beaten, and Son did not return at all, so he led to just a 2-pointer. Palmer as well managed to play the Arsenal game, but no returns on his side. He just had a 2-pointer. And then most importantly was the returns from my captain Mo Salah, who scored and assisted. So his 28 points came in handy. Cunha was also an inclusion from our watch list of last week, and he did come in with a 12-pointer. He scored and assisted as well, which really helped to boost our team. And then Raul Jimenez also did assist Emil Smith Rowe's goal, I believe. So that was the score really from the entire game week. And I think the most disappointing was Spurs. We did expect much from Spurs playing at home against Ipswich, but it was quite a disappointing one. I think only Poro managed to assist, and then Bentancur scored one of the goals, or just a consolation goal, but his ownership in the game is really not that big, so I don't think it was really worth anyone that celebrated Bentancur's goal, but maybe the assist from Poro for those that had him in defense. But still, we did expect much more from Spurs, and it's quite disappointing from their side. So quickly, we shall just go through our watch list for this game week. There's a lot that we did see in this game week, and we're going to go through at least mainly, as you know, as we always do it, we'll go through the defenders, the midfielders, and lastly, the forwards. To go straight into our defenders, Nottingham Forest did concede 3 late goals, but their defense still looks good. I think they're the second or the third best defense in the entire game. And this, I think, was the biggest loss or biggest concession they had from the season when the season started. So Aina still looks like a good call, and the defense really from Nottingham still looks like a good option going forward. Their fixtures get to become a bit tricky, as we mentioned last week. That's why I wasn't telling most of you to go for the likes of Wood if you hadn't gotten him yet. So that is something to watch out for. Ain Nuri still makes an appearance because the Wolves fixtures really look good. They really look good. So him and the likes of Cunha, if you have them, I declare them as a hold until at least they go through this fixture run. Konate is looking good in the Liverpool defense. They are keeping the clean sheets. They have the best defense in the league, and he looks pretty nailed. If he can keep off the injury list, because one issue with him is that he's always compared to Van Dijk, he's the one who's a bit injury prone. But if he can keep up his partnership with Van Dijk, you believe Liverpool will go forward really having a very good defense. So Konate is one of the people that we picked out, and their next match is Southampton, which is a very good match to target for those that have Liverpool asset ownership. In our midfield, Bruno Fernandes is one of the people. Actually, I'll talk about this as I go into my team selection going forward. But also, before we go into that, it's important to note that we shall be going in an international break. So there's no Premier League next weekend. So you can watch out for those quick transfers, for those price drops and price rises. Those are some of the things you need to monitor, because people like Bruno, I know very many people are going to be jumping on him, but as we know, he'll be going away to play for Portugal. So fingers crossed for those running out to get him, that he keeps fit and comes back next fixtures when he's still fully fit. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes looked very, very good against Leicester. He did, I think, assisted twice and scored 1. He should have even done a bit much more. But among the Manchester United assets, like I mentioned last week, him, Alejandro Garnacho, who also did score in this game as well, though he came off the bench, so his minutes are to be monitored. Him and Ahmad look really, really good. Uh, Rashford still looks a bit off. De Bruyne is back in the Man City squad. He did come off the bench in the last game week, in the previous game week, but I believe as he gets to be more nailed and gets to get more and more minutes within his legs, his fitness will really look good. And Man City, he's very key to Man City going forward and improving and making a difference in how their season has been going so far. Semenyo looks good as well, and his fixtures are a no-brainer like we've talked about before. Coming to our forwards, we've always mentioned someone like Wissa, even when he came back from his injury. I think I mentioned him. Him and Mbuemo's partnership is really good, and he's standing out ever since he came out of his injury, together with Cunha, like I'd mentioned earlier on, because of the Wolves fixtures. And lastly, Joao Pedro came off the bench and made a huge difference in the Man City game. He assisted and also scored. So maybe he's someone that we get to look at again now that he's fully fit. So to go through my let me call it my selection for game week 12 next. Yeah, let's go through how my team would be selected for game week 12. I think one of the main people that I'm looking at is Bruno Fernandes. He would be coming in for my McNeil. McNeil didn't play the previous game week as his injury is still bothering him. So I make the mock-up of if I make that transfer, like I told you, it's something I'll be monitoring. You need to monitor the price rises, price falls, and as well be aware of the international break and the injuries and all the issues it can bring. But all that has to be managed because, like I mentioned, there's no Premier League this coming weekend. We shall be in the international break, and the Premier League will resume the week of the 23rd, Saturday the 23rd. Deadline will be at 2 p.m. Ugandan time. So this is how my team would be standing out. I'll just make one, I think, change of removing McNeil to bring in Bruno Fernandes, and the team would end up looking like this. I think obviously Raya will come back in goal. It's really between him and Fabianski. I think Raya will have a better fixture, so I'm thinking Raya will come back in goal. Then the rest of the team, I think, should remain like that. I don't think Lewis will start in my team. I would rather play Konsa ahead of him. Uh, and yeah, and I think Salah will be definitely my captain against Southampton, with Bruno Fernandes, who's playing Ipswich, being my vice. The fixtures look good, and I think some of those to target are, for example, Leicester are playing against Chelsea is a good fixture for Chelsea assets. As we've mentioned, Liverpool playing against Southampton as well. All those are away matches as well. We need to also put that into consideration, as well as Ipswich playing against Man United, which is also an away match for Manchester United. I think those are the three key fixtures to look out for in game week 12. I think those are my thoughts and plans as it stands. I'll keep on giving you updates. As you know, as has been the trend during the international break, there's not much videos that come through, but you'll always be getting updates as soon as anything changes. Thank you, and FPL responsibly. Have a nice week.